Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This game concludes the celebration of Super Mario's 35th anniversary. Super Mario 3D World was originally released on the Wii U back in 2013 and was re-released recently on the Switch about a month ago with a nice addition to it, Bowser's Fury. It's like another game which has a nice story to it, and the cool thing about it is that Bowser's Fury is open world. What is up everyone, my name is Arvi Virami and welcome to Pinoy Rig Enthusiasts, where we bring you guys unboxings, insights, and reviews. If you are a gamer just like me, make sure to click on that subscribe button and that little notification icon so you're always updated with our latest videos. Alright now, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This game was released on the Nintendo Switch just over a month ago and it contains two games, well, two, in one. Now, 3D World is a re-release of the Wii U game that was released back in 2013, and Bowser's Fury is a new game that contains a new story, and it's completely open world, and you get to pair up with Bowser Jr. The goal is to basically save Bowser Jr.'s father, Bowser, from Fury. From the title itself, it's really fun, however it is super short unfortunately, but has a lot of post-game content similar to Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario 64, or maybe even Super Mario Galaxy. Now 3D World allows you up to 4 players, either online or local, and Bowser's Fury only supports 2 players locally. Now if you play on your own, you can use the Joy-Cons sensors or the Pro Controller sensors to unlock like certain areas, coins, power-ups, or just use the touchscreen on the Nintendo Switch. Alright, so first let's dive into 3D World, then we'll dive into Bowser's Fury later. So here we go for 3D World. 3D World starts you off with Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach watching a fireworks show, then all of a sudden Bowser jumps in, interrupts the show, and captures all of the Sprixies in jars. As you see here now, you're brought to the Overworld where Mario can now roam freely, which is amazing. Before you couldn't do that, you could only move left, right, up, down. Now you can move around freely, you could explore the different coin blocks, pipes, and some mini games such as Toad's Adventure, a roulette thing that gives you power-ups and mushrooms and other stamps as well. Now despite the fact that you can run around freely, note that you can only unlock the next level once you unlock the level before it, naturally, as how it was in Super Mario World. Now jumping into World 1-1 right now, we see a different scenario, right? It's totally different and I love it. I have never played the Super Mario 3D World back on the Wii U, and just playing it now is amazing. You could run around, there are different places to explore, you can go up and down, you can just explore the 3D space, and it's amazing. As all Mario games are, the game is nice and colorful, and I like that blur effect that only focuses on the platform that you're on. It gives a nice immersive feel, in addition to that knowledge that there's more platform to explore either below you or above you or even around you. Do note however that when I played this on handheld, the blur effect seems stronger, the graphics seemed a little bit more crisp. I felt that the graphics felt a lot better on handheld mode, but you're definitely not missing out if you're playing this in docked mode. Now as you play the game, you'll feel that the game is fairly easy. It shows you where the goal is, there are more power-ups, the time limit that they give you is ample enough for some stages. Even in the later stages, you'll feel that there are a lot of power-ups, they actually guide you where to go, and the boss fights are fairly easy. The picture mode, or the snapshot mode, is pretty cool. You have your different filters, you have your different logos, stamps, etc. It's pretty nice. I enjoy the things that the game throws at you, just like how if you pick up this mushroom and it turns Mario into a gigantic version of Mario, you get to break blocks, you get to unlock some certain places later in the game. I'm not going to spoil you where it is, but just make sure. However, there are times that you might break things that you shouldn't, like breaking a pipe, for example, when you're gigantic. So these are things to look out for when you play as a gigantic Mario. There are some mini games in 3D World. one of which is Pillage Adventure. You play as Toad and navigate him around the obstacles and try not to get hit by enemies and try to gain stars. These stars are important as you will need them to unlock later parts of the game. When entering a level in 3D World, you can choose out of 4 characters, either Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad. Now note that each character has their own characteristic, like for example, Luigi can jump higher, Peach can float, and some levels require a certain character to be used so you can unlock that certain part of the level. There are certain levels where you just jump on Plessy and navigate throughout the water levels. It's a nice stray from the traditional run around, jump around, and break things. Now I'm only keeping this review of 3D World just in World 1. I don't want to spoil the different parts of the map, especially going on to World 2, World 3. There are different themes for each world, and those levels are accustomed to that theme, which either add or remove difficulty, but it's fun. Other things to note as well, that the game is very forgiving. If you die 3 times in a row in a certain level, once you're brought back to either the start of the game or the checkpoint, you are given this special upgraded Tanuki power-up, which allows you to float further, which is really nice. The boss fights are generally easy, but the part leading up to the boss fight where you actually run or get to where the boss is sometimes can be a little tricky. There are some levels where I found the controls to be really weird, where there's a delay when you press it, or maybe I just wasn't pressing it early enough where you'd fall. But aside from that, I wouldn't think that it's a game-breaking type of thing or a negative thing. It's something that you have to definitely get used to. Alright, moving on to Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is a totally separate game mode which you can find at the main menu. Right when you start it, you're thrown into a cutscene which ultimately ends up with Bowser Jr. being your partner. From there, you can choose whether Bowser Jr. will assist you a lot in the game, he'll just stand by, or he'll just assist you a little. I personally chose a little so you could find those hidden power-up blocks, you could find those hidden coins, and at the same time help me fight those enemies. It's open world, so you can explore to your heart's content. There are no boundaries, except for that end of the map boundary. There's also technically no timer. However, Bowser does appear from time to time, and you have the choice to either attack him, use a lighthouse in order to shine him away, or you could choose to just dodge his attacks and he'll eventually calm down. You can collect the different power-ups which are found at the bottom left of your screen. As you get hit by enemies, you can select any one of these and you will get that power-up. If you do die in the game, do note that instead of starting over, you just lose 50 coins. It's similar to Mario Odyssey, but then again, if you gain 100 coins, you get a random power-up. As you unlock lighthouses and collect more stars, you unlock the Giga Bell. The Giga Bell is similar to Pokemon Sword and Shield, where when you pick up that Giga Bell, you turn into a gigantic Mario, sporting whatever power-up you have. I highly suggest always taking the Cat Mario power-up, as it looks really cute, and it's the best one out there. I don't want to dive into too much details as to not ruin the fun for you guys, but eventually you will unlock more areas to explore, more lighthouses to unlock, and more Giga Bells to unlock as well. Unfortunately, the game is indeed too short. Let's get on to more of the negatives of this game. The game does unfortunately run into FPS drops, and we all know the Switch is indeed limited. If we play on dock mode, you will experience FPS drops here and there, especially when it rains, but if you play in handheld mode, it's a little better and similar to 3D World. In my personal opinion, it looks a lot better in handheld mode, but definitely docked mode is the way to go for Bowser's Fury. Now this is not a negative for me, but maybe a negative to some people. The boss fights are indeed easy here, similar to 3D World. As I mentioned earlier in the review, there is no online play here and only local co-op. So there you have it. There aren't too many negatives with Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Not as many negatives and as many bugs as you found with Cyberpunk 2077. Which reminds me, if you haven't checked out our review yet, I highly recommend that you go and watch it. You know, if you're still on the line whether you want to buy Cyberpunk 2077 or not, that video may give you some more insights on it. Overall, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is an amazing game. It does have a lot of copy-paste formulas from its previous games like Super Mario 64, Galaxy, Odyssey, things like gather red coins and get, a star for gaining or finding those red coins. But still, Nintendo managed to keep it very fun to do. You have to look for those coins. The timers seem to be a little too fast sometimes, but it keeps you on your feet. It keeps you practicing a lot more to get those coins. Took me a few tries to do so. Even though you will explore most of the open world in about 2 hours, there is still a lot to offer post-game with gathering all of the stars after, and there are some hidden stars that you won't find in the lighthouse. So if you're on the fence if you should buy Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, I highly recommend you do so. Even though it is at full price for a re-released game back in 2013, it's definitely worth it for Bowser's Fury alone. Even though, again, please keep in mind that there's only around 2 hours or so of the main content. Looking for those extra stars and gaining all of those stars and perfecting all of it will take longer, but the core gameplay of Bowser's Fury should take around 2 hours or so. So again, it's totally worth it, and it definitely earns RV's seal of approval. I'll probably talk to Alvin about adding something like that to the channel. Something similar to Nintendo's seal of quality type of thing. Maybe we'll try to find a design for that RV seal of approval thing. Alright, well, thanks for watching this review. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye!